This lesson for the Culinary Project class, I'd like to discuss the saying, blood is thicker than water. It seems to be an abridged expression of a lengthier expression, meaning the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And we'll look at Romans 9:3 and notice something that Paul had said, quite remarkable when we look at it. Alcomain. This is I was. It's imperfect. I was wishing. It's just similar to a prayer. In some text, it says "would to God." It's here. He's wishing was. I was, and it's in perfect tense, and that's a past continuous action. I was at one time in the past continuously. Notice that continuously in the past. I was wishing. And then we have this post-positive conjunction here, for. And then we have autos. This is myself. I say self, but let's just leave it that way. I was, and then we have ego. I myself was wishing, for I myself was wishing myself anathema. That's accursed. Accursed. Ani. To be accursed, away from apo to Christu, I myself accursed, to be accursed, away from the Christ, the anointed one, the Messiah, the Christ, heaper, on behalf of then it says tone adelphone, on behalf of the brethren. I probably should have said brothers, but it's okay. The brethren of me, so of me. So my particular brethren. Okay. And then he goes on and says, tone of the, and he uses this word. This is genon. There we go. Genon. This is together with, and this is genetic, and it's an adjective. So we'll say jointly genetic ones. There we go. The jointly genetic brothers. That's what this is. Brothers. Could just put that in there, and there we go. Because he just mentioned brothers. So here, the jointly genetic ones of me again. So of me. So he's being very particular here. Of me. So my particular jointly genetic brothers. So these are blood relatives. And then he went on and ended it by saying kata sarka, according to flesh. So yes, we've concluded therefore that, and this idea of being accursed, rather there was a time where he was wishing, and that was his prayer and his wish to God, if you will, his preference to remain accursed away. And you remember, this is what he said to the churches in Galatia: those who would return or participate in the law, let them be accursed. Anyone were to come and preach another gospel even an angel from heaven, let them be accursed. And that is speaking of the curse under the law. And he was saying there was a time in the past, no longer presently, that is, but there was a time in the past where he was preferring to even endure that condition of being accursed under the law, seeking, establishing his own righteousness, which he said later that was according to law. And he said himself that the law of Moses could not justify a person. So he said that. So now we see that he's left his brethren for Christ. So we can conclude that the blood of the covenant, that blood of Christ, the blood of the covenant is thicker. And this is where Jesus called people to come away, said, hate your father and your mother. You can't come and be my disciple, can't follow with me. And hate there certainly wasn't an emotional state of mind, not some inner turmoil of heart. It was the conduct of going with Jesus as someone goes away to, let's say, to war, or even people move away for job and school. What you're doing is you're abandoning those that would have the advantage of you not doing it. So the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. That's interesting, very fascinating, especially in light of the imperfect tense. Paul wasn't saying presently he was willing to give up Christ and then to return to his brethren, but for their sake, he was enduring what he is now. By the time we get to this text, he's describing it as that condition of being accursed and trying to be justified by the law, which it couldn't do. It was to give the knowledge of sin, never to be a means according to which, by our performance towards it or according to it, we might establish our own righteousness. So you have a blessed day. Enjoy this lesson.